Hello everyone, this is Richard from MTG Goldfish, and today we're going to try something new. I have the brand new Duel deck here, Zendikar versus Eldrazi, and we're going to go through an unboxing video, and we'll just talk about some of the new cards. So today is August 28th, which is the release date for the Duel deck, and these can be bought for $20 from your local game store or from your big box store like Walmart or Target, etc. And they contain two 60-card decks designed to be played against each other, and the Duel decks consist entirely of reprints. And since we know they're all reprints and there are 6 brand new cards in here, we know that they're from the upcoming set Battle for Zendikar, which releases October 2nd. And you can see one of the new cards here in Oblivion Sower. So let's actually go through and open up the Duel deck and see what we can find inside. Okay, so what do we have inside? So first we have a rules reference card. So if you're new to Magic the Gathering, it teaches you the rules. So this is actually a great product for new players since it contains 2 complete decks you can play with a friend right out of the box. Seeing the front here, we actually have 2 Spindown Dice. So these are used to keep track of your life totals. And you can see we have a red one and a green one. So we have 2 Spindown Dice for you. And we'll put the cards aside for a second. Inside we have 2 deck boxes, so these fold together. Let's just do one real quick. Oops. So these deck boxes can hold your new decks. So we have one for Zendikar and one for Eldrazi, so that's pretty cool. And finally, here we have what looks like the strategy insert. So inside it has the complete deck list, so you can see here what cards are contained. And I'm assuming this is a bit about the story and the strategy of the planes. So let's move on to the good stuff now. Let's move on to the decks. So there are 2 foil cards. Let me just get the camera in focus here. There we go. Sorry about that. So we actually have 2 cards, 2 foil cards. So these are the foil face cards. So here's one of the brand new cards, Oblivion Sower, and it's 6 mana. And when you cast Oblivion Sower, target opponent exiles the top 4 cards of his or her library. You may then put any number of land cards that player owns from exile onto the battlefield under your control. And it's a 5/8, and it's nice and shiny. You can see the new art here. So this is pretty cool. If your opponent has exiled a bunch of cards, say for example with Delve, you can play all the lands from exile. So not just one, but all of them. So if they have 5 land cards in exile, you can just put them directly into play. So that is pretty cool. Here's the rest of the deck. So let's open this up. So you can see this is a 60-card deck. It's a fairly thick pile of cards. So we'll just go through the cards quickly. If there's anything special, we'll stop and take a look. So here's Magma. It's a 5-mana 4/4. Sacrifice a non-land permanent. Magma deals 1 damage to target creature or player. Butcher of Malakir. It's a 5/4 flying. When Butcher of Malakir or another creature you control dies, each opponent sacrifices a creature. So this is a pretty nifty card. And we have It That Betrays. So this is actually a $14 card as of this recording. And seeing that you buy the Duel deck for $20, this is actually a great value. It's a 12 mana card, so you can tell it's an Eldrazi card. It's an 11/11, Annihilator 2. When this creature attacks, defending player sacrifices 2 permanents. And whenever a opponent sacrifices a non-token permanent, you put that card onto the battlefield under your control. So that is It That Betrays. A great rare card. We have Consume the Meek. It's a 5 mana instant. Destroy each creature with converted mana cost 3 or less. They cannot be regenerated. Hellion Eruption. 6 mana, sorcery. Sacrifice all creatures you control, then put that many 4/4 red Hellion creature tokens onto the battlefield. And now we're moving into the uncommon. So Ruin Servinator. When it dies, each player draws a card. We get 2 copies of it. Bloodthrone Vampire. This is when you sacrifice a creature, it can get +2/+2. Ooh, we have a brand new card. Forerunner of Slaughter. Red and a black mana to cast. A Eldrazi Drone. It has Devoid. This card has no color. And target colorless creature gains haste until end of turn. It's a 3/2. So it's a pretty aggressively costed creature here. Bloodright Invoker. Dominator Drone. So this is another card. This pose is an amusing pose. It looks like it's a swimsuit model, but a 2 and a black. A 3/2 Devoid. This card has no color. Ingest. So this is a new mechanic as well. Whenever this creature deals combat damage to a player, that player exiles the top card of his or her library. Whenever Dominator Drone enters the battlefield, if you control another colorless creature, each opponent loses 2 life. So this seems like a great card. Ingest is pretty interesting, so you can see how it combos with our previous Oblivion Sower. I imagine that some of the newer Eldrazi from Battle for Zendikar will also have something that interacts with Ingest. So these drones are just walking around eating things, prepping for the big Eldrazi. And we actually get 2 of these. We got Torch Slinger, Cadaver Imp, Pawn of Ulamog, Vampire Nighthawk, a great card, a 3 mana 2/3 flying with Death Touch and Lifelink. Heartstabber Mosquito, 2 of these. Emrakul's Hatcher. We got 3 of these. Ulamog's Crusher, 8 mana 8/8 Annihilator 2, and attacks each turn if able. Artisan of Kozilek, a 9 mana 10/9. When you cast Artisan of Kozilek, you may return target creature from the graveyard to the battlefield, Annihilator 2. Forked Bolt. Forked Bolt is actually a $2 card. Forked Bolt deals 2 damage divided as you choose among 1 or 2 creatures, 1 or 2 target creatures or players. Totally butchered that card. It's a staple in older formats. It's only 1 mana and you can split it to kill 2 creatures. So that's why it's a $2 card. We have Mindstone, Smother, a great card for tiny leaders. Marsh Casualties, Induce Despair, Read the Bones, another Read the Bones, Corpse Hatch. So now we're getting to our lands. Akom Refuge, Eldrazi Temple. So this is how you can cast your big Eldrazi. Add 2 mana. Spend this mana only to cast Eldrazi. We have Rocky Tar Pit. And we're into the basic lands. So we have a bunch of mountains and swamps. And we have Eldrazi spawn tokens. We have different art for Eldrazi spawn. We have several versions of art. That's pretty cool. And our one Hellion token. So that is the Eldrazi deck. So here is Zendikar. So Zendikar... So Zendikar is a plane where the lands come alive to protect it. So you can see that in Avenger of Zendikar. He's a 7-mana 5/5. When Avenger of Zendikar enters the battlefield, put a 0/1 green plant creature token onto the battlefield for each land you control. And then landfall, whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, you may put a +1/+1 counter on each plant creature you control. So Avenger of Zendikar is a $4 card, the regular version, and this is a brand new shiny foil version. And let's go ahead and open up the Zendikar deck to see what this deck is going to do to battle off the Horde of Eldrazi here. They certainly don't make these easy to open. Wait, I see there's a stripe here. There we go. Nope. Okay. So, Scoot Mob. A 1-mana 1/1. At the beginning of your upkeep, if you control 5 or more lands, put 4 +1/+1 counters on Scoot Mob. So that is a creature that can get big quite fast. Veteran Warleader. So this is another brand new card from Battle for Zendikar. 1 green and white, so 3 converted mana cost. It's a star. So Veteran Warleader's power and toughness are equal to the number of creatures you control. Tap another untapped ally you control. Veteran Warleader gains the choice of First Strike, Vigilance, or Trample until end of turn. So this is a great, aggressive human soldier ally card. So it can probably be used in ally decks. We have Seer Sundial. So this is a 4-mana card. It's an artifact. Whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, you may pay 2 if you do draw a card. Primal Command. So this is another reprint. This one's also worth almost $7 currently. And it's a 3 colorless, 2 green. Choose to target player gain 7 life. Put target non-creature permanent on top of its owner's library. Target player shuffles his or her graveyard into his or her library. And search your library for a creature card, reveal it, put it into your hand, and shuffle your library. Stirring Wildwood, it's another $4 card. It's a land that becomes a creature and effectively known as man lands. So it enters the battlefield tapped. Add green or white to your mana pool. Pay 1 colorless, green and white until end of turn. Stirring Wildwood becomes a 3/4 green-white elemental with reach. It's still a land. We have Caravan Escort, a 1-mana creature with the level up mechanic that can become up to a 5/5 first striker. 2 of these. Beastbreaker of Bala Ged. So another level up card. We have Frontier Guide. Knight of Cliffhaven. So I see a level up theme going on here. Stonework Puma. That's just a 3-mana 2/2. Daggerback Basilisk. Grazing Gladeheart. Tajuru Archer. Affligard Hound. Turn Timber Basilisk. Grey Pelt Hunter. Jaraga Bard. Ondu Giant. Kabira Vindicator. some more level up, but these guys are slightly bigger. This one becomes a 4/8. McKindy Griffin, a 4-mana 2/4 flyer. Wild Heart Invoker. Territorial Bailiff. We have 2 of these. Explorer Scope. Groundswell. Oust. Calney Heart Expedition. Harrow. Retreat to Kazandu. So this is a new card. It's 2 colorless, 1 green. It's an enchantment. Landfall. Whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, choose 1. Put a +1/+1 counter on target creature, or you gain 2 life. So this is a new Battle for Zendikar card. Repel the Darkness. Sheer Drop. This is also a new card. A 2 colorless, 1 white sorcery. Destroy target tapped creature, and it has Awaken 3. So you pay 5 and a white. If you cast this spell for 5 and a white, also put 3 +1/+1 counters on target land you control, and it becomes a 0/0 elemental creature with haste. It's still a land. And we actually get 2 sheer drops. Evolving Wilds. Grey Pelt Refuge. Turntimber Grove. And we have the rest of our lands. And we have some nice plant tokens. And that's it. So that is the new Duel deck. So let me just pull out the new cards that we got. So Veteran Warleader. Sheer Drop. Return to Kazandu. Oblivion Sower. Forerunner of Slaughter, and Dominator Drone. So these are the 6 new cards from Battle for Zendikar, which you can get from the Duel deck. So we're basically getting this a full month in advance. And like I said before, this Duel deck is actually teeming with value. It That Betrays is $14. Cards worth $2 or more. We have about $30 worth of cards. So Avenger of Zendikar, Primal Command, Stirring World, Wildwood, That Betrays, and Forked Bolts. So that's about $30 of cards. And then you also get all the other cards, which adds up to another $20. So you're getting about $50 worth of value for a $20 Duel deck. So that's pretty cool. So that wraps it up for this unboxing video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. We got to see what's in the package. The package is fairly small, but it contains a lot of stuff. It contains 120 cards, 2 deck boxes, 2 Spindown die, a rule sheet, and a strategy insert. When the cards become available on Magic Online, we're also going to post a playtest video so you can see how these decks actually fare against one another. So that's it. If you enjoyed the video, leave a comment below, subscribe to our channel, and I'll see you guys next time.